No.
Is yeah.
No.
For context on how to use this in a sentence, why does my dog keep laying in the bathtub? Can I bathe my dog in the bathtub?
That is not no. No.
I'm making an executive decision here. We're canceling humanity. This is the unpardonable sin, and all of humanity is.
Welcome to the New Music Podcast. We're your two regular jackoffs from upstate New York. This guy right here, my name is Patrick.
This guy right here is Kyle, and I would love to introduce, again, the person that still owes me child support from the last time we did this interview, Jared from Heliocentric. How you doing, sir?
My lady. I am doing splendidly. Thank you for asking. Also, the child support checks, dude, I don't know what happened. I put them in the mail. Those greedy postal workers, you know, it's just
you heard it first, everybody. You heard it first, everybody. He is a scumbag.
Child support dodging heliocentric.
If you're wondering why you haven't gotten your down payment yet, this is probably why.
It's me. It's my fault.
It's me. I also evade taxes.
Well, I'm trying to. Gosh.
What are taxes?
What taxes?
You just say everything that can incriminate you right now. just everything after that.
Everything in this room is stolen property.
You guys remember that one murder back in like '92? Man, that was crazy. Definitely didn't have anything to do with
crazy.
that. Wow.
But it happened right down the road.
Cool guy.
Back in like 06,
pretty sick.
Like 6 people on my street were all like suspiciously went missing. I had nothing to do with it. It was crazy.
Go on.
Nope. That's it. It was crazy. I don't know. I just felt like bringing it up. Definitely not like guiltily confessing on camera or anything. People definitely don't do that.
Shut up.
Was that your cat?
No, that was me. My cat don't make noise unless he's really mad.
Fair enough.
Or really
so
horny.
He's just chilling. No, he doesn't do that anymore. Thank God. I would not want that little fucker to reproduce. God damn. I'm sorry. That cat is so goddamn dumb. I love him to death, but Jesus Christ.
That is the reason why you should get your cat to reproduce.
No. I am not having another like 6. My luck, he'll have 12 cats somehow. He'll have 12 demon spawns running around.
It's terrifying, man.
I'm good.
So anybody listening, yes, we have Jared from Heliocentric. This is very fucking exciting. None of us here actually give a shit. All we really care about is that at the end of this, you're gonna want to stick around to the end and not fade it all the way to the front and to the end, because that's kind of fucked up. But we're gonna play a little game, and we haven't played it here on the show in quite a hot minute, which is it a real band? So you don't want to miss that. So and it's gonna be stupid. I hope you have a toilet bowl sense of humor.
We do like stupidity.
So with that said, Jared, how the hell you been, buddy?
Wow, Pat. Thank you for asking. I cannot imagine a better question. And honestly, the way that you phrased the question was so articulate.
Thank you.
I mean, your inflection and everything. Just, I feel seen. Thank you.
I didn't realize I was watching a Heliocentric, a little Nas version interview here where he's dry humping Pat.
Okay, listen. All right, I cannot maintain this podcast thinking about Lil Nas on me. All right, I can't. I'll be too horny. I'll be distracted.
That's fair enough, man.
I'm too distracted. I gotta get good with the man up there.
Amen. No. I'm doing super well. I got employed yesterday. That's the biggest news. I just got hired full time onto a media production company. So
boom.
That's super fun. Moving down to Raleigh, North Carolina sometime in the coming weeks.
Oh shit.
But that's not relevant to this.
No, I think it is, because one of the things that really does stand out about you over in the time that since the last time we spoke is the video content that you've been putting out.
Oh man, crazy.
Because that was not a thing the first time that we had spoken. I don't know if this is something that you had expected me to bring up, but I remember you being concerned whether or not your audience was going to take that seriously or not. So one of the questions I had ready to go was, well, how did they like it?
They are the coolest bunch of dudes, and dudettes. Yeah, I mean they've.
Can I stop you right there? Women don't listen to gent.
You're right. You're right. Sarah Longfield doesn't exist.
I know. No, please carry on. Don't let me, derail you or anything.
Dude, no, it's blown my mind. Like, people have been really, really kind about it. And honestly, like, the gent, prog, whatever community, dude, it's like, I'm a cringy piece of crap. Like, I am cringe inducing, like, to the point of no return. And despite that, everyone's been really encouraging and really kind about it. So yeah, and I mean, it's also like cool because yeah, I knew that if I were to have any success with this last album that I released, Ismael, which came out in January for humans listening,
not aliens.
Yeah, so like my first album totally flopped, for all intents and purposes. At my peak, I had like 200 monthly Spotify listeners, and yeah, I knew that I needed to have like a proper release plan this time around, and so did some singles prior to the release of the album, did some music videos instead of lyric videos because nobody watches lyric videos, and then did all these stupid skit videos. And
which are fire. They're fucking hilarious.
Dude, you're beautiful, Kyle.
I try, but no, they're fucking hilarious.
I'm really working on one right now about me doing like a Steve Jobs imitation and unveiling Ismael as like the new iPhone. It's dumb.
I think my favorite one was probably when you were in therapy. And yeah, my favorite, it was like, oh, Jared, come sit down. And he's like, oh, thanks. And you're talking about, that, and you don't have any glass in here. So you're just like, that you're a silent planet? And you're like, what? Like, that one has to be my all-time favorite video, no matter what.
Dude, you know what's so crazy? So that video, like, has gone a long way. So Silent Planet, the whole, for those who haven't seen it, the whole premise of the video, the joke is that I'm a Silent Planet knockoff, and I'm telling myself that I'm a Silent Planet knockoff and coming to terms with it. So the Silent Planet official page and Garrett Russell, the vocalist, both shared that video on social media.
That was fucking dope.
That's actually awesome. I didn't know that.
Dude, like the most meaningful thing in the world to me. Like, it was insanely cool of them. So yeah, no, it was really a big honor.
No, now that Senpai has noticed you, what other goals do you have?
I can die happy. There are none. It's game over. It's all downhill from here. Gosh.
But those skits are probably like giving me life throughout the day. As soon as I see one, I'm like, fuck yes, what you got for me this time? I can't fucking wait.
Dude, they're fun. And honestly, like, those were, as stupid as it sounds, those became my portfolio pieces. Like, I'm about to start working a corporate job because I made memes. And it's like, and people don't realize that you can do that, and you can do that. Like, you can be stupid and silly and like get good at a craft while doing that, and then make that your bread and butter. Like, I mean, there's companies recognize that. I don't know. It's, yeah.
Well, we've talked to a couple of people who their job is social media marketing, and what that usually entails one of two different positions. Either they're following you around with a phone and they're filming everything that you're doing in an effort to turn all of that into shareable content, or what they're doing is just simply working on the socials themselves, boosting posts, running ads and shit like that. Or maybe they do both. I don't fucking know. I'm not that guy. But yeah, that's a real job career that people can look for.
Yeah.
And after seeing the type of shit that you were doing with your videos, you had legit green screen type shit going on. Some effects that, like, honestly, I just wouldn't have even known how to do unless I like did some extensive Googling. So I can see why a media company would see this and then be like, huh, how can we make this guy turn into money for us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can see it.
Dude, comedy is the way of the future. Like, it's an encouraging thing and a discouraging thing that like companies have quickly realized. I mean, case in point is like the Old Spice commercials, that they've realized that like comedy sells, and like you can get people to take your product seriously while making them laugh. Yeah. And it's like scary that that's the direction that it's going, because then the line quickly becomes blurred. Like, well, what is entertainment and what is an advertisement? But we're here now, and I'm going to bank off of it while I can.
Exactly. And you should, while you're still funny.
For sure. For now. If I have 3 more of these caramel coconut ales, I will not be funny.
I got to admit, that sounds super creamy.
It's so good.
I don't like caramel, but the idea of a caramel.
I don't like caramel either. So
that sounds good.
It's mostly
the coconut intrigues me. The coconut intrigues me.
As long as it doesn't taste like shampoo, I think we're good. There was a coconut flavor.
No, I've
Red
had
Bull.
some shampoo beers before.
I mean, so
it's just like Dove beer, and it's just. Nah, wouldn't recommend.
That shit hits different.
Sounds like a sour.
Yeah,
it would probably be a sour.
Or quote TikTok, that shit bussin'. That shit bussin'.
Can somebody tell me? I definitely have realized how old I am now when I have to say shit like this. What the fuck does bussin' mean?
I think it's good, I guess.
I've never
good
heard
enough
that.
Great.
Is that a thing?
Good enough for
me. Bussin'. Yeah.
All right.
It's usually the premise is they're eating something like barehanded and it's just covered their whole hand with it, and then they shake each other's hand and they're like, how is it? That shit bustin'. And it goes close up to them and it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
What is humanity?
I don't think you should ask that question.
Yeah, that's a bit tricky. Question. In fact, if we try to attempt to answer that question, we will lose just about everybody who listens.
FBI, open up.
Yo.
Shoot, man.
Oh,
which is a darn shame, because that's what I've been reading about lately. That's gonna be for the next album.
So spill it.
Spill it.
That actually hurt. Spill the tea. What do we got?
As far as like the next album, or what I've been reading?
I mean, whichever one.
Whichever. All right. So I can't unveil. I haven't started writing the music yet. I've got one single that I'm hoping to put out in soon. All about not being a partisan hack. But the next album that I'm writing is going to deal. I don't know how much I want to spill. The idea of humanity becoming God, and how that's a very unsettling prospect.
Nietzsche just rolled in his grave and said, okay, I'm listening.
Dude, it's there's a super creepy book that I'm reading through right now called Homo Deus. And it has a lot of overlaps with other books that I'm reading, but the guy's premise is that Yuval Noah is his name. His main premise is that humanity is at a crossroads. We're at a watershed moment in human history and human evolution where we are, 200 years from now, the humans that we are going to become are going to be unrecognizable from the humans that we are now. Because of artificial intelligence, because of genetic modifications and engineering, and advances in vitro fertilization and all of these technologies coming to a head, that his contention is that we will no longer be Homo sapiens. We will be Homo Deus, which is terrifying. And what he means by that is, you know, for all intents and purposes, for the past, you know, however many years we've had formalized religion, the past 50,000 years, is a ballpark, probably longer. Humanity has looked to God or gods and said, you know, I blame God for this, or I notice this as a sign from God, but quickly that's all becoming obsolete, and we no longer do that in society, right? Like with COVID, we don't look to God as a nation and say, God, why are you doing this to our country? We look to people and say, how did you let this happen? Which presumes that humanity has it within its power to eradicate plagues, which is insane. Like, never before in history has that happened, that we can just, like, that was always something reserved for the gods, that you could cure a person of a plague, of syphilis, of dysentery. What? Humans can do that? And what's more is that we've become so expected that, like, oh, well, somebody's going to heal me, and if somebody doesn't, then it's on them. Like, it's a testimony against them. I mean, it's really weird, the place that we're in.
I mean,
I fucking love it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's definitely, you can see now that, I mean, obviously some people are not going to like hearing this, but I've noticed that more religious people are starting to, like, go away, more or less. Like, it's like, hey, God didn't do this, it was another person. Like, sure. I can see a lot of people forming away from any type of religion now, or having a type of religion which I currently am now is just for people, like other people and stuff like that. So I can see where you're coming from with that, and it is crazy to think about. Like, back in the day, we were like, oh shit, like we didn't know anything about medically, we didn't know anything, and they're like, well, I guess God's pissed off at me, I guess I'm gonna die, I guess, right, or some shit like that. So it's like, it's definitely crazy to think of now. We're so ahead of, like, our time now. I mean, I wouldn't say we're crazy ahead of our time right now, but we're definitely ahead.
I like the idea that we are just so fucking close to being cybernetic beings. That's just, I want that dystopian world. I want to be mostly robot.
I mean, I was listening to the radio the other day, and there is somebody that is a robot now, and the only thing that's, like, I think he's in a wheelchair now, but he's basically all bionics except for his heart and his brain.
Is he like a paraplegic or something?
I think it was a disease that he had that put him in a wheelchair, and I can't remember what disease it was, but he wanted to be he's a doctor, and he wanted to be a cyborg. So they basically had all the surgeries, and they kept his brain, obviously, his heart, and his eyes, but there's something in his eyes or something. I can't remember what it was, and I was driving to the next building that I was going to, Pat, when I was listening to it, so I couldn't really listen to the whole thing. So I was like, fuck, this is very interesting. So it's basically our first ever cyborg.
Now, I got an article from the Independent I'm looking at right here. Terminally ill scientist transforms himself into the world's first full cyborg.
I think that's who it is.
This is an article in November of 2019, so this has been out for a year and a half now.
Oh, okay.
This is old news. A British scientist who was terminally ill with a muscle-wasting disease says he's transformed into the world's first cyborg. Jeez. I don't need to know any more than that. I'm just hyped.
So, there's several weird questions that arise with that. And the book that I just finished is called Hacking Darwin, and it's easily, like, one of my top 5 books now. I think it's gosh, dude, right? So, I mean, I think it's called, like, Genetic Engineering and the Future of Humanity. That's the subtitle. But he paints such a vivid picture of what it's probably going to look like over the next 100 years. So, I mean, currently we're at a weird place where like natural sex is seen as the oddball out, right? So currently, like, you know, if Kyle started having like casual unprotected sex and was just like, yeah, I don't know, I'm just playing Russian roulette, like might have a kid, you know, she's not on birth control, I'm not using a condom, like we as a society frown on that. It's like, no, that's the natural way of doing it is no longer the expected way to do it. This author's prediction is that in 50 years, give or take, in vitro fertilization is going to become the norm. People are obviously still going to have sex, but you know, if you want to have a baby, it's like assumed, like, no, surely you're going to go to the clinic and have your embryo selected, right? Because they need to be screened to make sure that your child doesn't have a life-threatening illness, right? Like if your child has, you know, a terminally ill disease and, you know, is going to pass away at the age of 2, you know, surely you as a parent would want to choose a different embryo to implant your wife with, right?
Now listen, I hate to cut you off right there, but I gotta say this just because of the situation that I'm in life. So many of the listeners know here that I did just have a daughter recently, and yes, she does have Down syndrome. I have no regrets about staying with this decision. I wanted to have a daughter anyway. Didn't care if she was autistic. Didn't care if she had Down syndrome. I'm still gonna love her the same. But if I had that knowledge beforehand, would I have chosen a perfectly more suitable specimen, I guess, if that's the way to put it, I guess. I probably still would have. So it just goes without saying, yes, people would make that decision.
And dude, like, you know, how do you like hold both truths in that? And like, you know, you're an amazing guy because of how, you know, candid and like honest you are about something like that. But you know, how do you hold I mean, how do you hold both of those in tension? Like, yeah, realistically, we want to eliminate terminal diseases in humanity if at all possible, but we sure as hell don't want to like belittle or mitigate the lives of those people who are here who are afflicted with those things, right? Like, and it's hard, but like, yeah, given the option, like most people wouldn't want or wouldn't sign up to have a child with autism or what is it, Hunt's disease, Huntington's disease, you know, all of these things that it's like it's hell. And we're at a point in human civilization where, you know, we can quickly start to eradicate those through genetic screening. And so like in theory it's probably going to be the case that given 50 years, if you want to have a kid, it's going to be seen as the irresponsible thing to like, yeah, I'm just going to start screwing my wife and we're going to pop out one. And it's like, yeah, but what if the embryo that gets selected is, you know, one that is going to die 6 months after he or she is born? It's like, you wouldn't want to wrestle with that weight on your shoulders. You wouldn't want to do that to them. But then this quickly spirals into, you know, what first becomes a medical necessity ends up becoming a medical advantage, right? So like plastic surgery started out with, hey, these people who were mauled in wars, we need to be able to reconstruct their faces so that they can live a normal life in society and not be, you know, heckled and harassed. Which quickly became, oh, I wonder if I could get lip injections. You know, I wonder if I could take a little off my nose.
See, I'm curious now. Yeah, exactly. I'm curious now, since in that world, what about abortions?
So that's actually where I was going to bring it, is because we already have this when you bring up the topic of abortion, you always get people who are far left or far right. There's very few in between. And when we talk about this in vitro fertilization, it eliminates the need for that argument. So it nips it in the butt. That's why I understand
it does and it doesn't, which is very tricky. And this is one of those places where I've been wanting to do more research, because it really is tricky and hard. And there's no easy way out with any of this. I mean, just case in point, like there is no cut and dry, obvious answer that you should be super comfortable with. All of this should make you uncomfortable. Any solution that you should come to should make you uncomfortable.
Because I would have said the same thing.
So, I mean, like, and, you know, full transparency, given my background, I used to be one of these dudes who was protesting in front of abortion clinics. That was my background, dude. That was my time in seminary. Just, you know, full transparency. So that, and I hope that doesn't,
No, honestly, I was going to ask you to build off of that because you've kind of grown into a totally different person since then. So I'm kind of curious how you look back on those times. I mean, obviously, when you were that age, you thought what you were doing was the right move.
I mean, that's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to do the right thing. Like, everybody wants to do that.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. Everybody thinks they're the good guy in their story.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, the thing that like frustrates me so much about when I hear people on the left talk about abortion, is they'll usually portray it as like, you know, it's only ever done as a sexist power grab against women. And I'm sure that there are plenty of cases where that's the case. But dude, I thought I was out there saving lives. Like in the framework that I thought I was outside the concentration camp screaming, you know, to, you know, save the life of the innocent Jew. I mean, that was the kind of like, no, those embryos that are being aborted, they are full-fledged human beings. I'm trying to prevent murder.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and again, I know that the people on the left who make the argument as it being only a sexist act, like there's a lot of validity to that. And there's plenty of cases where that's like, that's valid. That stands.
No, nothing
but
about
it's not the only instance.
Nothing about this topic is black and white. Nothing about it.
Yeah.
No.
It's all fucking muddy gray. It's it's just impossible.
It's definitely it's very impossible to change. I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's definitely almost close to impossible to change someone's point of view on that kind of thing. Like, I mean, it's the same thing with gun rights. It's the same with like freedom of speech. It's the same with
freedom of speech.
I mean, that's a fine line. That's a fine line. But either way, I mean,
should never try to change somebody's mind about this. I think what you should do, in my experience, you don't argue people, especially not outright, you know, and try to make them look like a fool for having that point of view. I think if anything, you got to be able to have a civil conversation no matter what. I know that this is one of those topics. Abortion is one of those topics where you can piss somebody off just by stumbling over your words. You know, and
dude, and like, I get that, man. Like, I can't imagine being in that kind of situation and having to make that decision. That sounds like hell. So I mean, you know, the only big takeaway for me is like, struggle, you know, and struggle with those who are making hard decisions. It's not easy.
I'm with you there. So out of curiosity, I know this might sound kind of random, but how old were you when you first saw Juno, or have you seen Juno at all?
I have not.
Okay. So my question for that was going to be, you know, how old were you when you saw it? Was it before when you were still at that age and doing, you know, basically protesting outside of abortion clinics? I was going to, you know, that's where I was going to go with that. But it's one of those movies, man. It makes you question which side of it you are on. And by the end of it, you might still be on the same side. You might not. But you have an interesting conversation with whoever it is you're watching that movie with. I know I did.
So, yeah, I don't... This is an interesting question. Like, you know, how much of it was founded by my own research and, you know, my own looking into the matter versus how much of it was I belonged to a side and that side kind of dictated what I thought about things that I hadn't properly researched yet. And you know, that stands true for a lot of things. One of the other books that I just read is called Hate Incorporated, which is it's really good.
No, I've definitely heard that. I'm pretty sure there is a band or an album that is called Hate Incorporated right now. I'm like I'm like 99.9% sure that there's a band or an album named Hate Incorporated. So I'm gonna have to do a quick search up for that. But anyway, you were saying.
Well, so it's super interesting. Basically, he's a guy on the left who is coming out saying, you know, I as a journalist, you know, I'm on the left, I'm still on the left, but I fully acknowledge and like repent of my sin of basically being a partisan hack. And, you know, he's not saying that like he disagrees with the arguments that he was making, but like the way that he was framing them, like, you know, it certainly, you know, any of the big news outlets, it's not the case that they don't believe what they're saying, but the way that they frame the question now, it's only monetarily advantageous if you can spin a story as an attack on the other side. And it really does become tribalistic. But one of the weird things that like you don't really consider is this whole notion, like and you know, this is like in part because America has a two-party system, but I don't really have any hard opinions on that either.
Yeah, I mean, there's technically three, but everybody just says there's two because people don't like to talk about the third party. So it's like not even.
and certainly the media doesn't want there to be a third party because it stands, the way that their whole system is operated, it's kind of a big wrestling match. Right, you have two parties. You have the good guy and the bad guy, and they're both fighting over which is right. And
that's a really easy storyline to sell, especially from a media standpoint. So like, I understand why they would like that, but man, if we have not figured out by now that shit doesn't work, what the fuck are we doing?
Beware the sound of one hand clapping.
I can do it.
Well, you should beware that sound.
Shit. Now I'm
fuck
scared of what it sounds like when I fap. Damn. I did find out that there is a band called Hate Incorporated. Came out in 2009 in, of all places, Italy.
Huh.
So the band has been around 10 years longer than that book has been published.
Dang. All right. Well, they should sue.
Nah, dude, you can't. I don't think you can sue over shit like that anymore. There's just too many.
I hope not.
Well, I know for song titles and album titles, you definitely can't sue for.
Yeah.
Like if there were two bands named Hate Incorporated and they were both in the same country, then you got a good chance at a good case.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so. No, like there's another Heliocentric on Spotify.
What country are they in?
It might be the Netherlands. Maybe. They're really good. You should check them out. Like, they're like kind of like a jazzy synthwave. I don't know, but it's cool.
I mean, I like the idea of synthwave mixed with jazz, so fuck it. Freeform, fucking lounge jazz. Like, what kind of jazz we talking?
I don't know. It's just,
you like jazz?
I don't even
like jazz.
Now, I want to go back to the record. And we're gonna go back to your videos that you've been making. So
yes,
I listened to the album fully, and I was like, okay, it's really good. I'm not gonna have any nitpicks. The breakdowns were there, like you promised, so I was good. Your cleans were awesome. They were great.
Way better than the last.
Way
man.
better. You improved a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah, the last record wasn't bad at all. So now
it was bad. That's okay.
It was trash. Don't worry.
It was mixed really well because, you know, the 18-year-old that I paid to mix it was freaking phenomenal. But I was barely learning how to play guitar at the time.
I mean, auto-tune goes a long way.
It does.
Yeah, if you use it correctly. But But so I actually saw when you posted a video. After I listened to the album, I saw you posting videos about the scriptures of you explaining them, and it was like 30 minutes long. And I didn't listen to all of them fully, except for because I didn't know they were that long. So, because I saw them on Facebook and I didn't actually click on them to see how much they were, because I would stop as soon as your music came on. So I was like, oh, that was probably it. No. So the one that I personally loved was the two females getting I can't remember what it's called. And Pat always
about the martyr story. Because I feel like that's the one that we had talked quite extensively about on the last podcast we did.
It was the one where the two Christians, one was pregnant, the other one was not.
Yep.
And she wanted to give birth and stuff like that. And then be killed, basically.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go over that real quick, and I have a new, how do I say this? I love it more now. I love the album more because you explained it more into the videos. Like, you didn't even have to put honestly, you kind of had to explain the lyrics of the songs that you made in the album, which I thought was phenomenal. I didn't even think about referencing that kind of stuff. And honestly, I have a new opinion of the record because I watched all those videos. And I loved all the videos. And if I was to ever take a course on religion, I want you to be the teacher. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit.
I remember this conversation that you and I had at work the other day, where we were both saying, okay, Kyle's going to go to college for theology now.
I'm not going to college, everybody. Calm down.
And Jared's going to teach that class.
Dude, there is something very tantalizing about that offer. You give me a classroom, I'm there.
Honestly, I'm down.
Relationship sounds great.
As long as I'm,
yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
As long as I'm not paying for it, I just want to learn. I just want to listen to it because it's like very interesting. None of that stuff really interests me until probably I listened to those a while ago now, and they're just really good. I wanted to touch base on you with that because that's such a good way to explain the whole album, basically. It's really good.
I appreciate
it. And I didn't even know any of this. Like, I mean, I was born again Christian. I'm not anymore. I used to be an atheist, and now I'm a humanist. So it's like, it's especially with Christianity, it's definitely an eye opener. Really,
yeah,
it's definitely an eye opener.
No, for sure. And that's one of the weird things about my music that I take as like a really big compliment is I haven't gotten a ton of pushback from the Christian metal community, which has been encouraging.
Which you really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. But
I hope.
But then again, Christianity's kind of a bumpy road if you really think about it.
It just depends on which Christians we're talking about. Because
yeah.
The good Christians won't care. The bad Christians, the phonies, they're the ones that you got to worry about.
I usually just say the extremists.
The other thing that plays a huge role in it is their age. Genuinely,
yeah, that too.
It's not the indicative or the indicator, but dude, there's a reason why you got to be 18 to sign up to war, to be drafted, to go to war. Like, there's something about that age where the world is so black and white. It's something deep in your neurochemistry, and it takes you until you're 24, 25 to kind of shake out of that.
Yeah.
And it's still there for some people, but most people, they mellow out.
Yeah. You also got to think too, it's not just 18. You can get it any year. You can get it at 15, you can get it at 14 or something like that. So it's some people like adulthood, some people get kicked out at 14 or 15 years old.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, hey, what the fuck am I going to do now? Now I got to actually
emancipated at that age.
Yeah. It's pretty much like a kick in the ass. It's here you go, have fun.
Yeah.
So it's it's definitely, it just depends on what you go through in life, really. That's just the main thing. I mean, it could be early, it could be late.
Yeah.
It's just, but yeah.
With regard to what you're saying though, or what you were saying, yeah, I take that as a huge compliment that, you know, some Christians understandably might be a little uneasy about my music because it's not in as black and white terms as they might want, which I totally get. The converse of that is, you know, if somebody becomes more sympathetic to the Christian worldview or to the gospel narrative, I take that as a huge benefit. And, you know, I'm not waving around a Crusader flag or anything. So, I mean,
no,
not anymore.
Yeah.
Gosh, no, but I take that as a big compliment. And I think that, like, gosh, dude, just the way that I see these stories, they play out like a movie in my head. And I don't
really
understand, like, I don't understand how they haven't garnered more widespread cultural significance, which ultimately I can answer that question as to why they haven't. The answer is memes. Actually, I kind of want to go down this rabbit hole now. What do you guys know about cultural memes? The phenomenon of cultural memes.
That depends on the context, I feel like, because memes in itself is something of a culture.
So who coined the term meme?
Oh God,
I feel like that was an
idea.
office term, if I'm being completely
Richard
honest.
Dawkins,
Okay.
the evolutionary biologist.
Shut the fuck up. You mean to seriously tell me Richard Dawkins?
Yes.
Why?
Look it up.
How? Please.
So the term meme comes from the word mimesis, right? Like a mime. A mime mimics what somebody else is doing. The idea of a cultural meme is a phenomenon in culture that replicates itself and becomes, it snowballs, right? Fashion is a meme. Fashion is something that, like, you know, why does it look weird when somebody is wearing a, two mismatching shoes? It's like, there's no obvious answer for that. It's like, oh, well, it's asymmetrical. Well, no, there's plenty of things that we drew. We only wear one watch. Why does that not feel weird? Right? Like, there's plenty of weird things that we do that it's like, well, why do we do this? Well, because they did it. Well, why did they do it? Well, because the people before them did it. Why did those people do it? So, I mean, culture as a phenomenon is built upon people mimicking each other. A meme. So, there's lots of these interesting stories where, like, there's a handful of chapters in history that get super highlighted, and then, like, the other parts of history that are slightly less interesting but still really interesting get zero attention. Why? Because these that are slightly more interesting, they get reproduced and retold. They become memes and they snowball. So, case in point, Kyle, how many U.S. presidents have been assassinated?
Oh God, you should not ask me that fucking question.
One?
No, not one.
Keep thinking.
Because JFK, Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, duh.
I'm not good at history, Jared. I hate you.
The answer that you've given is the wrong answer. The answer's 2, right?
Fuck you for
it's
that.
2. Yeah, no, it's JFK and Abe Lincoln. No, it's 4. 4 U.S. presidents have been assassinated, and their stories are insane. But why have we never heard of them? Why have we only heard of 2? Well, because both of them are so cinematic. In the case of JFK, we have the video footage, so it's like you can see it.
Oh yeah, that was a huge
in the case of Abe
moment.
Lincoln, yeah, but, like, how many history classes have you been in where they have to bring up the Abe Lincoln shooting because it's so cinematic, right? He's in the theater. John Wilkes Booth is sneaking up behind him with a pistol. I mean, that story gets told and retold and retold.
Yeah.
But what about James A. Garfield, the man who was shot and killed by a schizophrenic because God told him to kill the president?
Oh, I didn't know anything about that. Hold up.
Nobody does.
What president was it?
James A. Garfield.
What was he, the 5th, 4th, or 20th?
He was between Lincoln and JFK. I don't know what number he was.
The assassination took place July 2nd, 1881. Yeah, newly inaugurated president was mortally wounded by, it says mortally wounded.
So here's the aftermath of it. He was mortally wounded by the bullet.
Yeah.
He ended up dying, not because of the bullet, but because of the swarm of doctors that rushed up to him and started shoving their grubby little fingers into his bullet wound, trying to fish out the bullet.
Oh, okay.
Why does nobody know about this story? Because of memes. Because it did not have the fortune of becoming a story that was told and retold and retold and retold, and then, remade into a Hollywood special, and because of that, it's not something we talk about.
Okay, so who's the other one?
I was just going to say, who's the other?
I don't know.
There's four, but I don't know the other one.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the one that was like really interesting to me, and it fascinates me that, yeah, nobody knows about him. I need to look it up, and I need to read up on the other guy as well, but like just reading a little
Pat's
bit.
doing his research right now.
William
McKinley?
The assassination of President William McKinley
was done by
took
an anarchist,
place
right?
On what?
It was done by an anarchist, right? Keep reading.
It says it happened September 6th of 1901 at the Temple of Music in Buffalo, New York. We should know this because
we should know this. Hold up.
Backyard. Attending the Pan American Exposition, was shot twice in the abdomen at close range by Leon. Don't ask me to pronounce that last name, but he was an anarchist who was armed with a .32 caliber revolver and was concealed underneath a handkerchief. Let's see. Although it appeared he was initially recovering, the condition rapidly declined to gangrene. So he could have survived if this had happened today. But yeah, an anarchist, and it looks like his actions were politically motivated. Although it remains unclear what outcome, if any, he believed the shooting would yield. So really, I mean, he was just fulfilling what he believed, which is anarchy.
And I mean, like, yeah, in the case of, gosh, dude, the James A. Garfield one, that needs to be made into a movie. I can see that so well
retold in a million different ways, just because of how vague of a story we have on.
You also got to think of the JFK assassinations. Like you got to think of how many bullets or how many shots there say, and why did the driver turn a certain way? Why? Like, it's fucking wild.
But
how many
or go ahead.
Well, it's wild because they say they heard like 3 or 4 shots. Now they're saying if you zoom in closer, you see the driver duck or shoot him. So it's like, I don't know. JFK is crazy conspiracy.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
and it is. But to me, it's equally as crazy that normal Americans know this much about the JFK assassination, and we've never even heard of the other 2 that were assassinated alongside Lincoln.
Yeah,
like
both of them were over 100 years ago.
Yeah, but then we still know about Lincoln.
Yeah,
but Lincoln was even further back.
Yeah, Lincoln was further back.
Yeah,
exactly.
but
Lincoln was the very first. Lincoln was the very first person that got assassinated. The very first president that got assassinated.
Yeah. I don't know. The more I skim through history, it seems like sort of like happenstance. The people that we highlight as like important. Not to say that they're not important. Like, clearly by some metric you can say, okay, this person, held this political office that makes them important, or this person, signed this bill, or killed this person, or reached this many people with X, Y, and Z message. But then a lot of the times it's like, but what about his right-hand man, who was credited with like doing just as many things, if not more? Why does nobody know their name?
Right.
And it's like, well, I don't know. It didn't roll off the tongue as well.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like, because since we're talking about assassinations, can you imagine an assassination happening in our time period? Like, either, let's say, Obama, if he got assassinated, or obviously, this is a big one, Trump, or Biden now. Like, can you imagine what would happen, especially in the Trump era or in the Obama era? I mean, it would be insane. I think people would go absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat during the entire Bush presidency, waiting for the day that he was going to get killed. I had this feeling like every day. Well, I mean, to give a little bit more context as to why, I was a big Green Day fan at the time. So naturally, yeah, that it just kind of all lumps together.
I mean, honestly, it surprised me. Like, I mean, I don't want to say if it happened, I called it, but I was really surprised that Trump really didn't, like some crazy person or somebody that's, I don't know, against Trump, like crazy amount of Trump that assassinated him. And like, I cannot imagine how many people would flip out because right where I live, there's Trump people everywhere you go, like no matter what. So it's like, it's wild to me that if he got assassinated, this place would have been an uproar.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine.
It's, I mean, it still kind of blows my mind that there was a couple of attempts. There was actually a video of Trump giving a speech in the White House, and like a Secret Service guy comes in. This was like his last year in office, and the guy just like taps him on the shoulder and is like, "Come with me, sir." He's like, "Oh, okay," and just like walks out of the room. They come back 5 minutes later, and they're like, "Yes, apparently there was a active shooter on the lawn, and he was detained." But I mean, it seemed like he was a, somebody trying to assassinate the president. But I mean, like, yeah, what do you make of that? I mean,
for most presidents, that's just another day at the office.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're if you are perceived good president or not, you're still gonna have attempts on your head. There is no way around that. Is, why we have a Secret Service to begin with. But I think in order for a assassination to happen in today's time,
it would have to be an inside job, no matter what.
Part of me thinks inside job, which is what I lean on when it comes to the Kennedy assassination. I do lean pretty heavy on that, only because I mean, what vice president is so quick to celebrate?
Yeah, or the meme
hours after the death.
Yeah, like or the meme of 9/11. That's a big, Yeah,
I believe inside job, but I also believe that you would need a very talented team of tactical assassins in order to pull something like that off.
Yeah,
I'd be impressed,
especially nowadays.
I'd have to really like brush up on my, and I'm sure that I'd get like put on a watch list or something if I started Googling like how to assassinate the president's current location.
Oh, hold up! I got a YouTube video for you right now. It's by the whitest kids you know, actually.
Up.
All you got to do is sit on.
You
just got to sit at the rooftop of the Rockefeller Hewitts building with an AR-47. No, I love that video. The video that's. Did you know that it's illegal?
There's only one thing you can't say.
Yep, that one.
There's only one thing you can't say.
And we're already flagged because we're definitely on watch list now just for talking about the assassination.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we brought up 9/11, so naturally they're already.
So you want to say that really louder?
So FBI just wanted to say what's good. Make sure to drink your water.
Drink your water, baby girl. Do something.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But before we dive into any more like way serious shit, and I gotta be honest, that's not where I thought today's chat would find itself. And I got no complaints from me. But I definitely want to get into this game because we're getting close to where because we're gonna have another interview guy coming up here pretty soon.
So I hear.
Yeah, I'm not gonna drop the name just in case it falls out, but we'll see what happens. You guys want to play? Is it a real band?
Sure.
Oh, I want to play Is It a Real Band?
I'm gonna lose, but sure, let's get it.
I already lost.
Scotch in hand, man. I'm ready.
Now, for anybody who has not seen our earlier episodes, first of all, I just want to give you kudos.
Thank you.
Don't fucking listen to that old shit.
You can listen to some of the interviews, but not some of the old episodes.
Old interviews, yeah, those are all right. Episodes before we started doing interviews, don't waste your time.
Yeah, don't waste your time. Or do, whichever one.
Just a quick little PSA. And so the rules of this game are simple. I'm going to give you 2 proposed band names. One is going to be real, and one isn't. You have to choose which one you think is the real band. Are we square on the rules?
We're square.
Can I go to the nurse's office? I shit my pants. Can I go to the nurse?
No, Kyle, this is the 3rd time this week that you've shit your pants, so this time I'm just gonna let you sit in it.
Go fuck yourself. You're sitting in it and marinating. Fuck.
All right, and with that said, I'm just going to jump straight into the first 2 band names that we got here. First one we have is Congratulations on Your Decision to Become a Dumpster Slut.
All right.
And the number 2 is Suffocate Under the Weight of My Thunder Thighs. Which
I want that.
Is
Ooh. I think I should call my girlfriend right now.
Okay, the first one, surely that's a song title,
yeah,
rather than a band name.
I don't care if either of them are band names. I just want them to be lyrics to the same song.
Honestly, I would be fine to have. Actually, you know what? You're right. You're right. Hold up. But then again, you got to think of the subgenres now. Like, fuck.
Dang.
Oh, this is definitely a Slam Worldwide band if either of them are bands.
Oh man.
So your options are Suffocate Under the Weight of My Thunder Thighs, and I'm sorry, I got to read it again just to make sure I get it right. Where the fuck did it go? It went too far. I went too far. Congratulations on your decision to become a dumpster slut.
I feel like the first one is and the second one isn't. I wanted to say the opposite, but I'm going with it.
Fair enough. Thunder Thighs is a band. The other one is not. Final answer.
So Kyle's got a point. Boom,
So
boom,
did I?
boom.
Wait, did I lose? That's a band name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it. Yes.
As a matter of fact, give me 2 seconds and I will pull up their music. It's actually quite impressive what people will come up with to name their band.
Wow. I'm shook.
It sounded like a band name, so I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with that.
It does not sound like a band name. You're crazy.
Yes, it does.
Congratulations on becoming a dumpster slut.
Yes. Like, if you listen to any other subgenre, like gore grind, porno grind, and stuff like that, you see some weird fucking names. Like,
oh, yo, I kind of fucked up my own game.
Absolutely.
Don't tell me that.
You want to hear something? All right.
Yeah.
Neither of them are bands.
What?
Fuck you.
Neither of them are bands. However, I remember my thought process when I came up with that first one. My thought process is, well, there's a band called Congratulations on Your Decision to Become a Pilot. And
so none of us got a point, is what you're saying.
This is that band. Like if AC/DC recorded everything out of a garage.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with that.
So both of us don't have a point, is what you're saying.
I'm giving you both a point just for, good better. Yeah,
that feels better.
Because that's on me. That's on me. I kind of had a feel. I was gonna throw a couple of these in there where I didn't tell you either of them weren't a real band.
See, I low key,
you guys, but
I low key knew that you were gonna fuck up your own game, so I was like, you know what? He's gonna fuck up his own game. I know he is. He's done it before. Man. He's done it before, so I can't say.
So, fuck, where did it go? There's just so many bands on this fucking list. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So we're gonna go with Cunt Cuntly and Band-Aid Bloodlust.
Oh, I feel like both of them could be a band. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Hold up.
Band-Aid Badly?
Band-Aid Bloodlust.
There we go. Okay. Damn.
Fuck.
Okay, well, just because I can't say the first one, I'm going to say Band-Aid Bloodlust.
I'll say it for you, Jared, if you want. I'll say it for
Please
you.
do. Thank you.
Cuddly.
Cuddly?
Cuddly, whichever one.
Cuntly.
I don't. Cuddly, whatever.
Cuntly.
It's the same fucking thing. Jesus. We're just talking about a
Cuddly
vagina.
I mean,
Chill out.
I'm not gonna lie. That might just be the song title for one of our future songs.
I fucking hope.
Hey.
But
anyway,
which way were we going again? You were
he
not
said
going
blood
with the C word,
Band-Aid.
Jared. I know that.
Huh?
You weren't going with the C word.
You know, I'm gonna go the opposite of him.
Okay.
Cunt's definitely a band.
Cuntly is definitely a band, and
What?
Oh, let's
they
go.
released
Dude,
an
the
album
balls,
5
man.
years ago. 5 years ago, an album called Something Spooky, which is this. And I'll fast forward it to see. Actually, no.
Show me
Yeah.
the blast beats. Come on.
Oh, they're in there.
Oh my god, they're awful. I love it.
Yeah. So
Is it female fronted?
that's a good question, actually.
That sounds it.
I feel
Hold
like
up.
that would be very
That'd be
interesting if
amazing.
they
That'd
were.
be beautifully ironic.
Yes.
I know, right?
I'm actually a cunt, so I'm just gonna name the band Cunt.
Okay.
I would cry.
Jared,
I would
I know
lose
you've got
my
a lot of Christian fans, so they're going to be disappointed when I say this, but I actually stumbled on some of the lyrics, and this kind of fucked me up a little bit. Semen filling your child's brain as they try to fight me off. Bought a camera at the store to film it just so you can see it. Yo.
I didn't
Please tell me
realize
it's... See, I just need to know if it's a female fronted band.
I will find that out for you.
I am so glad we found
fucking-
the sister of Infant Annihilator. I am so happy.
Oh, she's got a big family, bruh.
Yeah, please send me this because I need to hear this now because that's I love it. I love it. Send me it.
Oh my god. Looks like they originally started as an instrumental bedroom project, only of only a guy named Joe DeSalvio, but their current lineup has male vocalists.
Oh.
The only two vocalists that actually they're a two frontman band, and their names are Ben and Alex Sullivan and Ben Clark. Alex could be a female name, but
Ben and Alex, you naughty boys.
they don't
What can I
list
say?
gender, unfortunately, on the
I was
metal archives.
really hoping for Jared's answer to have a female front. I would
be
love that.
so
That would-
funny.
I love the idea of a feminist like porno grind band that's anti-misogynist, so it's
I
almost like
swear to God,
like
yo,
dominatrix in a way. I'm
is
totally
amazing.
down with that.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
I am so down with that. Okay, so next up we were promised jetpacks and birds of a feather flock together. Which is the real band?
Birds of a Feather. I feel like I've heard that.
No,
I feel like
don't
I've
think
heard of
that's
that
it.
band.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
the first one.
I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
We were promised jetpacks is a real band.
Damn it!
I am never good at this. I'm fucking
the
killing
reason-
it.
The reason it sounds like it is because it's a play off of a popular saying,
Yep.
birds of a feather flock together.
Right.
But and I feel like somebody's probably named the song that, but definitely not a band. We were promised jetpacks.
I am killing it. If you listen, if the OGs are listening and they watched me play this, I was terrible at it.
Oh, they would remember.
Oh,
Matt
yeah.
used to crush it at this game
For no reason.
because he definitely didn't know what any of this shit was, man. He was just guessing. He was just guess boy. We were promised jetpacks. Honestly, just based on the name, sounds like it would be like a Periphery type band, or like
Yeah.
Mhm.
a Periphery meets Dance Gavin Dance type band.
Or like a pop punk band.
Yeah.
It might be pop punk. Oh my god! Somebody
Oh
get
my
these guys a
God.
metronome.
Sounds like punk. Yeah.
Okay.
Pop punk. Definitely
No.
pop punk.
I don't
Neutral
know.
Milk Hotel vibes.
I don't know, man. It's fucking old, but that song right there had 966,000 views and was put up 11 years ago.
I mean,
So
fuck it.
I don't know, man. We
all you
live in
can
a
ask
weird.
for.
weird world where people like the weirder song titles.
I mean, Pat, there is what we thought was a joking 9/11 band, but it's actually a memorial band for 9/11.
What?
Yeah.
So World Trade Center, I think, is the name of the band.
Yeah, it's
right?
called World Trade Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And when you look at their whole discography, they seem like they were intentionally trying to play a joke.
Yeah.
Like some of the.
But then when you actually hear it, it's actually a memorial to what happened.
It sounds
like
a memorial because it's very uplifting type music.
Yeah.
But the gimmick, I feel like, to me, is the name of the band and the song titles and the lyrics.
Yeah, because I remember me, you, and Matt went absolutely crazy when we heard that.
Oh, yeah. So, no, go ahead.
So funny. Well, just like, it's crazy. It's like we hear something like that and we assume that it's a joke.
It's bad,
we assume it's like, it's comedic.
Well, because America is very desensitized, especially in the face of a national tragedy.
Oh, yeah. Especially in the wake of YouTube and body cam footage.
YouTube used to be so good for that shit. But our next two options are The World is a Beautiful Place and I Am No Longer Afraid to Die, and Bukkake Butt Puke.
I'm going to guess that the second one is something that you made up. So I'm going to go with the first one. The World's a Beautiful Place and I'm No Longer Afraid to Die. It's an indie folk band.
I feel like that. I think you're right about that one, but I want the second one to be real. I want it to be real, so I'm going with the second one.
So The World is a Beautiful Place and I Am No Longer Afraid to Die.
Yeah, I knew that was the right one,
okay.
But I wanted the second one to be right.
I feel vindicated.
And, nobody cares about Credit Karma, bitch.
I just used it. I found out I have really good credit.
Actually, I'm in the same boat. I just got a pretty decent credit card and my credit score just went up 130 points. So
I try.
Well, to be
I
fair,
try
I
not
had
to
before, so.
Get a credit card. I don't want a credit card. Credit card scare the shit out of me.
Fair enough.
If you got shitty credit, you might need it.
It's not even that. It's just like if I have a card, that's just another bill, in my opinion. That's just another bill in my wallet. So I'm like,
yeah.
Well, I could sit here and tell you about mine all day, but I don't think listeners actually want to hear about how to raise their credit score. Or maybe they do. If you do, fucking DM me. Real Deal Patrick Teal on all socials. Yeah. This is The World is a Beautiful Place, and I Am No Longer Afraid to Die. The song is Heartbeat in the Brain.
So is it...
Already, it's exactly what I knew it was going to be.
I'm just waiting for those... What is it? La Dispute type screams. You ghosted me again, and I can't live.
I would cry if all suddenly you hear some fucking.
You hear the like group vocals.
Oh my god, the world.
So
of
what is it,
is
like
a weird place.
3-1 or something like that?
I'm not keeping track, if I'm being totally honest. The points don't matter. They're
Okay.
really just to help you boost your self-esteem, if you remember, because
I definitely need it.
You and me both, brother.
Fucking.
Okay.
Amen. Amen.
So, let's see. Let's go with this one. All right, we got The Voice of Cheese and Ant Hill Columbine.
Oh God. Oh God.
Wowzers. So if the first one were to be a band, they're a knockoff of Primus. Primus?
Yeah, Primus. I think that's
Oh my God.
I'm gonna say the first one because I really don't want the second one to be a band. But I'm sure it is. I'm sure I'm wrong.
I'm going with 2. Fuck it.
You're going with 2? I like where your head's at, but you're wrong. The Voice of Cheese is a real band.
I was thinking, my inner white bitch was like, choose the cheese. It was like, choose the cheese.
Go with cheese.
I knew that was the correct answer, but I was like, nah, I want the second one. But my inner white basic bitch is in my head screaming at me. That's it.
Now, I can't find the original band that went by the Voice of Cheese because I don't think that their shit is up anymore. But I remember at the time that the article was put up, they did have music. But it is also a song by Frank Zappa. So there's that. And it doesn't end there. We got 2 more we'll do after this, all right? And then we'll call it done. Rolling Blackouts, Coastal Fever, or I'm Not Gay, You're Gay.
I want that one. I want that one.
I want that one too.
You know what? I actually better double check that my fake one is actually not a real band.
I'm not gay. You're gay.
So what do you guys think?
No, we said that one. Both of us said that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you right now, I made up I'm Not Gay, You're Gay, but
I kind of figured.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a real band. I actually don't remember searching for it. There's a song by Boys on Wheels called At Least I'm Not Gay.
Oh my god.
The shit you find on the internet if you're not looking for it. Like the shit that you're looking for, when you're looking for it, it's impossible to find it, but when you're not looking for it, you just stumble on some weird shit.
Dude, I'm so bummed out too because there's a really interesting band title or band name, and I'm trying to find it because I wanna give you a round of band name or not band name. And
I've never been able to play the game.
Dude, I want to give you this opportunity.
No, you've played the game before.
Oh yeah, that's right. Matt did it.
Yeah,
Matt did it with disgusting DJ names.
Don't mind me. I'm on my phone looking for this band.
How fucking dare you?
I'm sorry.
Dare you,
Dad? Sorry.
You're
sorry, Dad.
I'm trying to. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna keep looking.
At least someone's got a dad.
Yo, Kyle.
I had to drop one. Come on, I needed to drop one.
Rip.
R.I.P.
Rip.
Okay.
My stomach just farted. Does
that
that make sense? Are you familiar with that idea, that concept?
Stop it. Get some help. Hi, my name's Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Michael Jordan said that in a McDonald's commercial.
Okay. I've got a round for you when you're ready.
Yes, I'm serious. It was JonTron actually did it. It was went over it, and it was Kids for Stop Doing Drugs a long time ago, and it was a McDonald's commercial.
A McDonald's commercial with Michael Jordan.
Yes, with Michael Jordan. Hi, I'm Michael Jordan. If you're doing drugs, stop it. Get
some help.
Yeah, see, Jared knows.
Yep, dude, it's a classic.
Oh.
There was one in that same era.
I know that.
A really infamous like anti-crack campaign where it's like this dude is serious as a heart attack and he's like, smoking crack is like putting a gun in your mouth and pulling the trigger. And that's the end of the commercial.
I like some of the drug commercials. Some of the drug commercials are fucking wild. Like
that's nutty, man.
Oh my god! I think there's a couple of them where, like, especially when JonTron. I don't know if you're familiar with JonTron, but he loves
JonTron. I know that.
Oh, but when he goes over the fucking Mr. T one where he's in a Denny's or something, he's like, "You don't really grind my gears, kids doing drugs," and he smashes the glass in his hand. He's like, "Mr. T, you need a Band-Aid?" He's like, "You know what?" He shakes the camera. He's like, you kids gotta stop. He's like, I'm not kidding, I'm 26. He's like, okay. You gotta stop doing drugs. Okay. And he has a big smile.
I would like to see a picture of Mr. T when he was 26, but
oh my gosh,
it was just so funny because he smiled at the end. He's like, I didn't like that. I didn't want to deal with that in therapy later on in life. I love this too, where this girl has a pan and she's like, "This is crack. No, that's a pan, and this is your brain. No, that's an egg. This is your brain on crack." Smashes the thing, and then he starts smashing it. She starts smashing the whole place up. He's just like, "You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that." That fucking video is it's so old, but it's so fucking gold. I think I've got
my new premise for my next skit video.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Crack, boom, pow, so smack. Bow, pow. I just love that boom, crack, pow, slam, grass, whatever you want to call it, is probably the worst drug you could ever do.
Hey man.
I'll give you a hey man.
All right, let's carry on.
Well, okay, Jared, what do you got for me?
All right. Pat, are you ready for your first ever round of band or not a band?
Well,
metal version.
Yeah, my first ever metal version, I guess, depending on.
All right.
Let's do it, I guess.
Band number 1. Michelle Obama Bonanza.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Or Andrew Jackson Jihad.
Nope, that one's definitely that one. That one.
Both of them sound familiar.
Can we get a final answer?
I'm going with Andrew Jackson Jihad.
I'm gonna go with Michelle.
Pat's right.
Dude. I knew that was gonna be right, but I was like, man, that Michelle Obama sounds really good too.
Listen, kids, don't listen to what anybody says. Do drugs.
Do drugs. Hey, they're fun. It's a good time.
Anyway,
dude, and they kind of slap. Andrew Jackson Jihad. They kind of slap. It's like folksy, but right.
I feel like that's racist to say though.
Wait, what? Why?
I don't know. Something about it feels racist.
Wait, what? He was so distraught. He was like, "Am I going to get canceled right now?" Wait, what?
I feel. I just don't.
Well, I think the reason it feels racist is because isn't Serge like fuck?
Oh,
what?
He's
Middle Eastern, right?
Oh gosh,
I feel like he's from Iraq or Iran or something.
No, it's
No, Pat, the country Iran. Not I ran away.
No, I ran away from Iraq.
No, it's the country that Azerbaijan just got into a dispute with. Serbian? Maybe?
Serbia?
No, it's not Serbian.
I can't
that's gonna
even
bug
I'm
me.
just throwing out
countries
names.
are on the map, like
dude.
Just to give you
should
context,
know better.
like,
I'm ashamed of myself.
I'm just throwing out countries. Ireland.
Canadian? Armenia.
I don't know.
Gosh.
Actually, that was actually going to be my next choice.
dude, this is nuts. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that it was Azerbaijan went to war with. I'm gonna butcher this, dude. I don't know my world politics. I apologize for everyone watching right now. I'm a disgrace. I'm a phony. I'm an imposter. I think that it was Azerbaijan went to war with Armenia, and it didn't last very long. But Azerbaijan made a metal song against Armenia. Not like there was a band in Azerbaijan that made a song against Armenia.
No, did it.
The military made a song against. It's like a diss track. It's like a big middle finger showing off their entire like military arsenal.
I love it.
Dude, you gotta look this up. Look up Azerbaijan metal song.
First of all, how the fuck do you spell Asar Faishan?
Nobody knows. Literally nobody knows. It's one of the great secrets of the universe.
Google a name nobody knows.
just voice text. There you go. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin with that. I'm just gonna stare aggressively into DuckDuckGo and hope that the duck doesn't betray me.
I found it. Literally took me 4 seconds.
Yeah,
that first one.
That second one is staring at me though.
You're not wrong. What the hell? Horrifying.
It's a great thumbnail.
You just put a curse on this podcast just now.
You're not wrong, dude.
Momo's coming to get us.
Yeah, dude. Keep look up Azerbaijan metal song. It's a doozy.
Fucking full send that shit to me on Facebook.
I will.
This is going to be the last round.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spank one out, and we will talk to our next guest. It'll be that easy. That simple.
Wow.
I don't want to end this conversation, though.
I don't fucking either. Wait, hold up.
I don't want to end it.
8:30. So we still got another half hour, boys.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't know why we're wrapping this up. We still got like an hour.
I like to be prepared, okay? I'm the kind of man who likes to come in with a plan, except for
you're an in vitro fertilization kind of guy. Is that what I'm picking up?
Jared, stop making big words. Kyle don't know big words.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Come on, bro. I went to my school, Schuylerville School. We did not do great.
My identity as a band is pompous asshole. That's my shtick.
Listen, I want you to stop what you're doing and update your Instagram bio.
All right.
Right. Pompous. Whatever you just
asshole.
said.
Pompous a-hole.
In and out. Oh my God.
I identify as a bisexual alcoholic piece of shit. There we go.
Hey.
That's fucking amen, brother.
Cheers.
So your choices are between Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Stop it. I don't need to hear the next one.
Are you sure?
All right, say the next one.
Dogs in the bathtub.
How do you go from daddies popping cherries
Cherry
to
popping
dogs
daddies?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't fucking matter. To fucking dogs and tubs.
Do you know what dogs in the bathtub means?
Oh, you pooped.
No.
What? No, what does it mean?
No. Dogs in the bathtub means putting your balls in somebody.
What?
I think it means putting your balls in their butthole.
I don't.
Hold up. I'm gonna double check this really quick. Trying to insert one's testicles into a girl's asshole.
No.
Is yeah.
No.
For context on how to use this in a sentence, why does my dog keep laying in the bathtub? Can I bathe my dog in the bathtub?
That is not no. No.
I'm making an executive decision here. We're canceling humanity. This is the unpardonable sin, and
we should have canceled.
We're officially the meme of the 3 kids sitting in a living room going, "Should we end the world?" We are the meme.
We are the meme.
I have lived a good life. All right, it
right
has all
here.
come to this.
FBI's really watching now.
God help me if I ever put that button in front of me, because I will.
Jesus.
I will full send.
Nuclear. I'll go with the first one because I don't want the second one to be a thing. I don't know why. I just don't want my balls in my girlfriend's asshole. That's just me.
Honestly, it sounds kind of fun. I mean, just to do it, it doesn't sound like you derive any kind of pleasure from it, other than just
you would
being able
not.
To say, just being able to say that you did it.
It's a weird flex. Like, yo, I put my ball sack in my girl's asshole the other night. Okay, cool. I'll have 911 on speed dial after you say that to me. Fuck out of here. Don't ever talk to me ever again.
What is your final answer, guys?
I don't want any of them, but I'm just gonna go with one because it sounds
Say
stupid.
the first one again.
Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
So you are now listening to, actually, that's not it. We are now about to listen to Cherry Poppin' Daddies, their hit song Zoot Suit Riot.
Sounds like jazz.
Not what you were expecting, is
It's
it?
kind of a
No.
bop.
Low key.
I mean,
bop.
Despite being a band that like makes their entire brand, sleeping with virgins, it's kind of a bop.
Yeah. You got any more, Pat? Because we still got a half an hour.
Oh, I got a bunch, bro. You know, I've
All
got
right,
a
let's
whole
keep
bunch
going.
left over from the old days, dude.
Oh
The
no!
problem is that not only have a lot of these already been done on the show, but some of them have direct links to the music themselves. I had that well of a list to put together.
I mean, fuck it.
So let's go with the next one. We got fuck, I hate that list because that list actually has them just jumbled together. So we got Butt Cannons in Space versus Viagra Boys.
Yo, I want both of them. Can it be both? Can it be both, please? I'm gonna lock in my answer for
Viagra
both.
Boys is just like the Blue Man Group meets Beastie Boys.
Yo, shut the fuck up. This podcast is cursed now. After that,
Yeah,
It's
just a little
cursed.
bit. And
I want
Butt
both. I'm
Cannons
locking in
Space.
both. I'm locking in both.
The thought that came to mind was like, oh, the Viagra Boys. Like, if the Proud Boys like had like an offshoot, like a faction of the Proud Boys like defected.
It's just a porno version. I downloaded the wrong movie.
I have definitely downloaded the wrong fucking movie.
Oh my God.
What have I done?
What was the other band? Viagra Boys.
Butt
Viagra.
Cannons in
Butt
Space.
Cannons in Space. I'm gonna go with Butt Cannons in Space.
I'm going
Just-
both. I don't care. I want both of them to be
You
right.
can't- You have to pick one, Kyle.
Fine. I'm gonna go with Viagra. That's what I
Well,
want.
then you unintentionally went with the right choice.
All right.
We are
Perfect.
now listening to Sports by Viagra Boys.
Sounds like.
I'm actually low-key impressed by the music video. I don't know why it gives me
What the fuck
the
is
White
that
Stripes
band?
vibes.
What the fuck is that band that goes bump bump bump? What's
Dun, dun, dun. Wait,
that band?
You mean that?
Yeah,
rap
that
song?
band.
No,
No, not that one.
There's a really good
beginning.
I put it in the butt. Yeah, I'll
Ice
show you
JJ
just what.
Fish.
No, let's not.
Dude, what
Go
a
Fish.
legend.
There's
Shoot.
something about you, girl.
Okay. Also, my new favorite artist is Valentino Khan.
He sounds familiar.
His
Doesn't
music
sound American.
videos are god tier. I think he's like, where is he from? Oh no, he is Los Angeles based. Interesting. I thought he was from like Peru, or not Peru, Portugal. Big difference.
Oh yeah.
No, but apparently he's LA based. He's got a music video for a song called Deep Down Low, and it's my everything. It's everything I want in life. It's like an LSD trip mixed with an acid trip. Are they the same thing? No. Mixed with a psilocybin trip, mixed with a heroin high, mixed with a heavy dose of DMT.
I am terrified.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh, I love it so much. Pat's pulling it up.
No, I'm not pulling that up. I was actually
You're not pulling that up?
I was double checking one of my next ones to see if it was a real band or not.
All right. Hit me.
Hit you? Oh.
Ooh.
You're the reason our kids are so ugly. That
I think
was
you've
me
done this
winding up for
before.
the hit.
I think you've done this before.
And then Cock Pocket is the second one.
The first one I feel like we've talked about. The first one I think we've talked about like years ago. I'm gonna go with the first one.
Cock Pocket.
That's just
now
when you fuck
Cock
a hot
Pockets are
pocket.
for breakfast.
That's just when you fuck a hot pocket.
Did you wake up late this morning and you were wondering, I'm not gonna be able to get anything to eat before I go to work? Well, it turns out we just made a new Cock Pocket for you. Cooks up in 30 seconds.
You're giving me a headache. Stop it.
Now with our high technology patented cock sleeve, your Cock Pocket will cook faster than ever. 30 seconds of your money back. Why is it still molten lava on the outside and frozen on the inside? I'm suing.
Fuck you.
I'm fucking suing.
Well, I'm going with the first one because I'm telling you, we've talked about this before. I feel like we have.
I'm going with the second. CP. I'm a big CP fan, dude. Bro, you been listening to CP lately? The new CP album? Slaps, dude. CP. So good, dude.
I listen to ICP, but minus the I.
So, neither of them are bands. We got you.
Dang it.
We got you.
You got it.
I feel like you said the first one before.
Both of them are song titles.
Oh.
I definitely said the last one because it is a song by Loretta Lynn and Kanye Twitty.
Cock Pocket? You're lying to me.
You're the reason our kids are ugly.
Okay.
It was a Loretta Lynn song and Conway Twitty.
It was like Conway Twitty, but fucking Cock Pocket on the fucking charts. Hold up.
That's where we got the Hot Pockets jingle from, Kyle. That shit is iconic. How do you not know that? That's like not knowing Elvis.
Yeah. Wait, who?
You're fired.
Wait, who?
Dang it. I can't do a media job. Dang it.
It's too late. You've already been canceled. You didn't know who Elvis was.
Frick. Dang. Can't do nothing.
Next up, we've got Salami in the Wild and Dan and Aykroyd.
The what?
Yeah. Oh, which one were you asking about?
Batman. That's what the fuck I was
pretty
much.
Dan and Aykroyd.
I don't want any of them to be real.
Wow. Wait, what was the first one?
It's a good question. Hold on.
This fucking man.
Salami in the Wild.
I'm gonna go with that one.
I'm going with the knockoff Batman theme song. Da-na-na-na-na.
So Dan and Aykroyd is a real band, but
Let's
only via loophole. Because I know that there is a story that like there is some sort of popular band that originally they had done tours and written music under Dan and Aykroyd before they went with their what wound up being their full name. So I gotta Google that.
That band was Kiss. Knights in Satan's service.
I could see it.
That was Kiss.
I want to watch like a whole documentary.
Scottish six-piece named Dan and Aykroyd. Nope, I was thinking of a different time I was hunting for bands. This is actually a fight pop band formed in 2006 from Glasgow, Scotland. Fight pop. I need to know what the fuck fight pop means. We about to learn today with a song called Muscle Memory. I don't believe they're Scottish.
No.
They're singing clearly. The Scots can't speak. They cannot articulate words. And this is the shit that's going to get me canceled for shitting on the Scots.
Yes.
That was actually really good. Like, I was really impressed by that. Like, it reminded me of OK Go. Anybody remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't, to be honest with you.
A music video where they're all jumping off treadmills.
Mm-hmm. They had,
okay.
If I'm thinking of the right band, they had a few like banging music videos.
Okay, go.
Like, yeah, like any one of their music videos is higher quality than the accumulation of everything I will ever put out.
I mean, everybody knows this hit song, Here It Goes Again. Kyle, sounds like he doesn't know. I won't play it because it's got 55 million views on YouTube, and I know we will get hit with a copyright slam.
Hold up, I got you. I'm hitting them high notes.
You know what? I'm actually going to put a quick test to see how well YouTube's algorithm is for pulling out. I've heard... Well, actually, hold up. Let me rephrase that. YouTube probably isn't very good at pulling out, but... No, I'm not even going to... I don't remember how the song goes, to be
I was
honest.
waiting for you to say for obvious reasons.
Oh, no, you can sing it. They're not going to...
I've heard of there being cases where people's entire videos got taken down because they were humming to a tune.
No.
Like a Guns N' Roses song.
Hey, I mean, YouTube is wild, bro.
Yeah.
I can see it happen.
The copyright shit has gotten pretty out of hand, I've heard.
It's not as bad as it used to be, but when it started, it was bad. It had to have been like 2017 where it got like terrible. Got like real bad.
I don't know. It was only like a year ago that Katy Perry won or lost that lawsuit against. Did you guys hear about that?
The song that she ripped off?
Yeah, that her producer stole.
When you listen to the side-by-sides, dude, it really was like carbon copied.
What? No, you're crazy.
Are you sure?
Dude, okay, so...
We're talking about Dark Horse, right?
Yes, yeah. No, dude, go and watch the Adam Neely video on that.
Uh-huh.
It's like, there's no... So, I mean, like, if you, like, the court case sets up a really damning precedent, because especially, like, in the pop world, there's been a million songs that use that same melody, that same chord progression, and in, like, the metal world, if I just go, like, dun, 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 how many songs does that bring to mind?
18 different bands.
Exactly. And it's like, because Katy Perry lost that lawsuit, then there's precedent in the legal system now to say, like, well, any song that, like, even kind of, like, remotely resembles this other sound, you could get sued for that. Even if you say, like, yeah, but they're not the same notes. Yeah, but there's enough notes that are similar that, you just kind of... And it's really scary because,
That's
like,
crazy.
it's a problem of, like, mathematics. There's only so many different variations of notes. We got 12 notes on a keyboard, dude. There's only so many of those that you can, like, finagle into a melody. But Adam Neely did a super interesting video where he's like, all right, guys, I'm going to play... here's, a MIDI transposition of Katy Perry's Dark Horse, and then here's the Flame song. And then he's like, oh, no, wait, that wasn't the Flame song. Flame was the artist who was suing Katy Perry. He's like, oh, actually, nope, that was Beethoven's 14th Symphony. Sorry. It was actually this song. And then he plays, like, an old track by, like, the Monkees. And he's like, oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. It wasn't that track. Here's the real track. And then he plays the song by some other band that's using, like, the exact same.
That's wild.
But it's, like,
that is a very
simple.
Like, a very simple It's way too simple to copyright that. Like that is just it needs to be way more complex. Like it has to be like that Pliny riff that got ripped off last year in order for it to like really work.
I didn't hear about that.
It was a Doja Cat performance where she had a full band behind her, and one of the guitarists in that live performance ripped off a Pliny guitar solo. It was subtle enough where you like all of the different like bends that like Pliny does to like make his guitar work sound like really unique. You could tell once you listen to the side by side, like you could tell, oh, it was close enough. But even Pliny was like, dude, I'm just cool that people like my music.
Well, you also got to think. You also got to think now, like, can you imagine, like, music later on when we're, like, AC/DC's age or some shit like that, where, like, you're going to hear, like, so many same, you know, riffs that are like, oh, I remember that back in 2020, and we're in, like, 2050 or some shit like that. Like, I remember that. Like, it's going to be wild in the music industry.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much that you can do.
Yeah. There was a really, like, I think it was a Vsauce video talking about the, like, different permutations of, like, how many different... Have you never watched Vsauce, dude?
I just love the memes from him. Hello there, Vsauce here.
Dude, Vsauce is my everything. He's, like... He's a science channel, and he's everything that you like think of like ew when you think of a science channel. He's the opposite of that. He's amazing, and he's really funny and like just asks really probing questions and then just kind of darts all over the place. It's really cool. But he did a video talking about, like, in theory, you know, when you pop a CD into a CD player, the CD is reading bytes, you know, bits and bytes of information, which are comprised of just ones and zeros. It's literally binary. It's, you know, you have 44 point... Say again?
I'm non-binary. Sorry.
I fucking hate you. I wish you just kept going, Jared.
You know how long
I've
been waiting for the right opportunity to make that shitty joke?
I was waiting. I knew what shitty joke you were going for, and I was like, Jared, please keep talking. I was like, Jared, please don't give in.
Pat. Canceled.
No, I think even they would like that joke. But please, what were we talking about?
Binary.
Oh my God.
The computer kind.
Oh.
Like ones and zeros from the Matrix.
Oh shit, I'm hard. Let's do it.
I had to learn that in graphics class when I was in high school. So
how to do that?
Yeah, like we learned how to. Yeah, we did. I learned the language of binary. Like 0011101 can be like a sentence or a word.
Yeah,
like it's fucking wild, bro. Binary code is wild.
Dude, but like literally, do what?
Don't keep talking, Jared.
There we go.
But anyway,
but I mean, like everything that you do on a computer is literally ones and zeros. Your web page, the audio, the video, the picture on your screen, it eventually boils down to ones and zeros stored on a hard drive, on switches and off switches. That's it. And so in the form of audio, you have audio that's recorded at 44.1 kilohertz, which means that every second there's 44,000. Is that right? Why am I questioning myself? Yeah, every second there's 44,000. No. I've had too much whiskey. You are our
teacher. You are our teacher. You need to like not be bad. Okay.
When your teacher has to Google the answer, you lose.
Yo, I've had that numerous times. My teachers were ass. Like most of my teachers were ass.
So
they're only human.
Yes, every second there are 44.1 thousand samples, and each sample can have a potential value of 24 bits, which is a lot. But I mean, at the end of the day, that all comes down to on switches and off switches that are stored on a CD. So if you take that in a 5-minute sample, in a 5-minute snippet, how many variations of on switches and off switches can you get? It's not an infinite number. So like if you had a computer that just randomly generated, 5 minutes of random audio turning on switches and off switches, you would hear everything.
Right.
But like, let that sink in. Every conceivable thing. The voice of your mother telling you like some Imure lyrics, you would hear that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like you would hear the sound, you would hear like full Madonna songs. Like the computer would eventually, in theory, if it was just spitting out random permutations of these on switches and off switches, you would hear anything that you could imagine. The sounds of dolphins, the sounds of you changing your bed in the morning, the sound of whatever weird stuff you watch on your iPhone at 8 a.m.
The dead that have been dead for years, maybe. Like it's just
But it's still a finite number. It's not infinite. There's a limited number of different possible combinations of on switches and off switches that would make up every conceivable audio recording that you could get in a 5-minute span. And so like it's weird because in the next 50 years or so we'll have computers that will be able to create that, to create every...
Aren't they already working on that?
They should.
I mean, they're actively trying to, but I mean, it's, you have these, I mean, it's just a question of like different permutations. But eventually there's going to be so there's already like an insanely fascinating website called the Library of Babel. Dude, you got like, Pat, look
Babel as in like
the Tower of Babel in the Old Testament.
Okay.
Yes. Look up the Library of Babel right now. It'll take you to this weird website, dude. And it'll take you to a library, a virtual library. It's just a black and white, pretty simple, like little depiction. And
wait,
inside the library,
it's a website,
you can choose a
or
floor.
is it? Because I'm getting a lot of different
Website.
shit on the Library of Babel.
It should be the first result.
So, okay. Because there's a book called The Library of Babel, but
It may be a book about the website. So if you click on the website and it'll ask, here, let me make sure
by
that
this art you may contemplate the variation of the 23 letters.
Yes.
I'm on the right site?
Yep. So, if you go to browse, I don't know if you can. I don't think you can see it.
I can see it pretty well. Not like what's on your screen. It looks like a white screen now.
It looks like a white screen. So, the library is divided into hexagonal chambers, each with 4 walls of bookcases, 5 shelves per wall, and 32 volumes per shelf. So I'm going to click on 4, and I'm going to click on a random shelf, and I'm going to click on a random bookcase. I'm going to click on a random shelf. I'm going to click on a random volume. And you can't see this. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're looking at an actual, like, it's hard to tell on your computer, but when you look at it, it's literally a shelf of books.
It's literally a shelf.
It asks you to click on a book. And the one that I just clicked on right now is, I shit you not, JKKFSTPDVXTK space HTABLDS.
So what you can do is, also, I know that you guys are short on time, so tell me when you got to kick off here and skedaddle, but really quick. So that book has 410 pages of jargon, just random characters, randomly mutated, one against another. But what you can do is you can search. So this is a real library that exists digitally. It's not a physical library, but it's a real library in the sense that it exists in the cloud. Mm-hmm. So Kyle, I want you to say a random sentence for me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The cat is in a litter box.
Make it more complicated. Add some weird stuff that like nobody.
Weirdly specific.
Yeah.
All right. The cat is in a litter box. It stinks like cow with rotting flesh.
And I'm going to add my own stuff. And okay, Madonna is a cutie patootie, and Pat is awesome too.
10 out of 10.
Exact match. Location.
Speaking of the cat, hey dummy.
Let's see. So it's isolating this particular sentence, but this was already there. That exact sentence was already saved and contained on this website.
That's fucking wild.
Let that sink in. Like, that exact sentence was in essence printed in a book before I typed it on the keyboard, and it was sitting there on the shelf before I typed it in, because we're dealing with calculations that are not even close to approaching infinity, but are like exponential beyond exponential. Like we don't have the brain power.
Wild.
Any sentence that you can come up with up to 3,200 characters. These are just 23 characters and symbols that are permutated and swapped around and shuffled so many times that eventually they congeal to that one sentence. And every permutation of that sentence exists. It's not theoretical, like it's there. Like you could pull it off of a bookshelf.
When we have time, I need to know more about this.
What Holy the fuck?
So any book in the English language that you could write has already been typed here. Because it's just the characters or combination of sentences less than 3,200 characters. Every single sentence that you could come up with has already been written. You are incapable of having an idea that has not been featured in the Library of Babel.
That is scary.
That is humbling, actually. I find that very humbling to think that, first of all, I think that it's a kind of a cross for someone to bear, to think that everything they do is extremely unique. To be that unique individual.
You also got to think too. That's actually kind of terrifying if you really think about
absolutely. It. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But I also find the knowledge of something that something like that exists kind of makes me a little bit more humbled to know, like, you know, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad.
Yeah.
And also, I'm nowhere near the fucking God tier intelligence that it must take to create something like that, whoever the fuck you are.
It.
And why did they call it the Library of Babel? Could you fucking, before we let you go, elaborate on that, please, if you could.
Yeah, so I mean, like the Old Testament story, like even if you're not religious, like it's kind of an insane concept of, and I mean, I think that they like couldn't have named a better name for it, given a better name to it.
I mean, true. Yeah.
The idea in the Old Testament was man thought that he was so haughty and so glorious that he would build a tower and ascend to God. That, you know, he thought that he was strong enough and vigilant enough to make his own path to God, to ascend to the heavens. And so God came down and said, F you guys, you're cocky as hell. And he scrambled their language. And so in order so that the workers couldn't unite and build a tower, God cursed them with language.
I've definitely heard that before. I just don't know where I've heard it, but I've definitely heard that before.
Stairway to Heaven type thing? Is that what this is?
I mean,
kind of. Or Tower to Heaven?
Something, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like each of those kind of have their own like connotation and their own kind of
right.
Yeah, cultural connotations with them.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the Tower of Babel predates all of those. I mean, this was in the Old Testament. Like, I mean, this is in the book of Genesis. It's man trying to, say that he is as high as God, and God coming down and saying, "No, you're not."
No, the fuck you're not.
And so, I mean, the significance of this is like, I mean, there's kind of like some biblical proportions to it, right? In Ecclesiastes, there's that verse that says, I mean, it's a motif that's said again and again. There's nothing new under the sun. You think you're hot stuff, but you're not.
Right.
Like, you think you're original, but you're not. And I mean, in the idea that God, in theory, knows everything, there is nothing that you can do to surprise him. And this is terrifying because it's approaching. I mean, it's not realistically even close to approaching, the sum of all human knowledge, but it's one area in which we've achieved dominance or we've achieved completion. And said like, yeah, we know every single permutation of letters up to 3,200 characters. There is nothing that you can do to surprise us. We have it all. We've written it down.
So I feel like it's really only limited by the English language.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that gets into like some weird computer science stuff. Talking about,
that could be, that is something that we will have to dive into at another time. But Jared,
yes,
holy shit, dude, it has been an absolute fucking pleasure.
I think, as I say, both of us can agree, me and Pat, we don't want this conversation to end. We love having you here.
Dude, I love the mess out of you guys. This has been a ton of fun.
But with that said, we always leave people with the option to shout out or shit talk anybody before we give them the virtual boot.
Dude, let me talk to you guys about Under Oath. What the heck is up with Under? No, I'm kidding. I don't know anything about Under Oath.
They're a thing that exists.
They're a thing that exists. The stuff that I heard of theirs is really good. My Instagram, which is where I am most active, is at Heliocentric Band. You can look me up on your favorite streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Music, by just looking up Heliocentric. My new album is called Ismael. It is metalcore-ish, and it's a good time.
And if you know Silent Planet, it's a ripoff of Silent Planet.
I am 1,000% a ripoff of Silent Planet. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
Anytime, my man. You know how it is, man. You need anything, you let us know. And
Absolutely.
With that said, Jared from Heliocentric, get fucked.
Dude, likewise, my friend.